good? Don't take it too close.
Alright folks, how's it going? This is the view from my bars at CrossFire 2023. This was in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, and it's like the main Halloween themed race of the series, I guess. Definitely seems to be the least serious out of all of them. A lot of people wearing costumes, and the rule apparently is if you have a costume, you line up in the front, which is cool. So here we're just crossing the starting line. I'm pretty much in the back. I think I'm either last or second last here to start with, which doesn't really matter because as we can see, it immediately goes into multiple choke points where you can't really do a whole lot. So pretty slow, a lot of people getting off their bikes here. No big deal. This little muddy patch here actually was a little tricky later on. Here's Mike on the left with the cowbells. I had a couple friends from work show up to this one. It's part of the reason I race this one. Usually I wouldn't go that far. So this beginning section was all, pretty flat and not super technical. It goes into some of the gimmicky, more themed things here. So we have a coffin that we have to jump over here. I believe L5 on that coffin is the team that organizes this race. Got a bunch of pumpkins that we have to dodge. Bunch of gravestones, I guess is what that's supposed to be. And you can see people up ahead have their costumes on. Sorry about the rattling. I don't know what the heck was rattling on my bars. And then you come through here, which is the ball pit area where kids throw plastic balls at you. Fortunately, being at the back, they had already unloaded all the balls. So I didn't get hit on the first lap at least. This part is another major choke point on the first lap. Got pretty much stopped here. And every time in the pre-ride, I just rode that fine. I had to put a foot down there though, because we were going so slow. And I think around here is where it starts to break up a little bit finally. So here we go into a barrier, pair of barriers, dismount into a hill, which I'm starting to realize is pretty common. So I think I need to learn how to remount on a hill, or at least run better. On this race, I pretty much opted to run to the top of the hill every time and remount at the top. That worked best for me. And then this part was kind of cool. We had a little bit of off camber with a little bit of open area where you could get some speed. So I'd say this is probably one of the more fun parts of the course. Usually I like the faster parts. This guy up here, I forgot his name, but I chatted with him a bit after the race. I think he said this was his second race. His girlfriend forced him to go. This left-hander here, I felt like I didn't really want to go into it too hard because of all the leaves. I have a troubled past when it comes to leaves and bikes. And then we had this kind of uphill and turnaround, which was actually pretty steep. It doesn't really look that steep on the GoPro. Actually, it kind of does, I guess. But yeah, it gets up to 18 for a sec there. And then at the top, you also have these roots. So it's pretty tricky, actually. That was kind of technical. And then you come back down here, and again, you can't really blast it, or at least I wasn't comfortable blasting it because of all the leaves. I think other people were probably going a lot faster on that. And then you have these steps, which people were encouraging us to ride, but I feel like I definitely would have broken something on my bike if I tried to ride that. There's Charles on the left. The spectators had a lot of fun at this one, it seemed like. And this back area here, we're not quite there yet, but it gets a little bit more tricky, I'd say. So here we get some actual pavement where you can kind of build some speed, and you'll see why in a sec. So we turn right hand, it becomes gravel for a moment, which adds to the trickiness. You can see, guy up ahead of me almost just lost it. Go up this steep thing, into these couple off camber turns. And we come up past this little, I don't know what this is, some little house thing. And this right here is super steep downhill. It felt so sketchy. Every time I thought I was going to go over the bars. Fortunately, never did. But you can see, guy in front of me is taking it real slow. I was taking it real slow too. I gotta imagine there were some people who went over the bars there. I think that was Jason. And then here, this part was a little bit of a bummer, I'd say. It's really squeezed. You can't really pass here. Not that I was trying to pass. But I have to imagine this is frustrating for the folks who are competitive, because it just kind of became single file here. This was actually tricky here. So they had it set up where you're going up and down this little hillside here, and it was kind of muddy, and it was actually kind of a steep lip there to get over. So it was a little tricky to stay upright. And here we cut over some concrete for a sec. I think there's Mike again. I think I hit the rim on that 1 or 2 laps. But here you can see where the single file thing kind of gets it a little bit annoying. Well, this part also is just insanely bumpy. I'm complaining there on the GoPro. But yeah, it's like just this dirt wave. I don't know how the ground got that way, but it was horrible to ride over. Yeah, this guy was going to let us go past. I just hung back because I'm pretty tired. I'm only at 163 beats. I think I actually kept the heartbeat pretty low on this race. I don't remember why, if I had a reason or if I just felt like I wanted to try and pace it better. Here's Mike again. And there's Jason. And then you go up this hillside here, which was, you know, decent effort. Crank that. You can see this guy up ahead of me. It's in a big gear. And I was riding a little higher on the hill because I thought maybe I could get past them, but it wasn't happening. And then you got a little bit of zigzags here. These were a little tricky because it was pretty heavily carpeted with these needles from the trees. So it was a little loose. That guy's pulling away from me now.
Steven John. Jeff Beatbox. Bennett Artman, one of the leaders in the Cat 5. I just have no idea who's in the Cat 5 in this race, so I kind of give up.
So then we go back here. There's a couple more of these kind of zigzags through the trees. Nothing super technical. I'm guessing this part is just rewards pure FTP. Maybe this left-hander is a little bit technical, I guess, up into that little ridge, but nothing too crazy. Then we come around here and head back to, well, not quite the start, but basically past where we stage. We'll say this is the first, decently cold race that I did. I was wearing a jacket, and I don't remember if I kept the leg warmers on. Probably. I probably did. I should probably put the temperature up on the little meters. That might be interesting. But I think this was in the 30s or maybe the low 40s. But it was pretty cold if I recall. So we got the team tents over there. So one thing to mention, I guess, at this race, this is the first race where I was on a team. I joined a team just before this one, or I suppose just after Pumpkin Cross. Folks I've been practicing with, Gelbbrucke, asked me if I wanted to join up. So I said, why not? So I'm now a member of Gelbbrucke. I don't have the kit because I obviously missed the deadline for that, but next year, hopefully. As I go into lap 2. I'll probably do some fast forwarding here and there, but I'll commentate as well. And I think on the second and third laps, I did get nailed with the balls. We'll see how this goes. That's some fun for the kids, some good photo opportunities, I guess, for the cameraman. There's Mike again. So yeah, this here again, like I said, this is tricky. This is one of those parts I've noticed where it's less technically difficult the faster you're going, if that makes sense. So if you're it's Mike and his daughter, the slower you're going on that, the more you're gonna slip when you're going up the little muddy section. So I tried to keep my speed up there, keeping that in mind from when I pre-rode. So there's Mike having a good time with the cowbells. Yeah, it was fun having folks out there. We got folks warming up for the next race already. This was one of the nice things about this course, is that there was this big open park that you could ride in. So you didn't really need rollers or anything to warm up. You could just hop on the grass. There's kind of a gradual hill right next to the staging area. That's where I warmed up, and it was great. Really going for us on this last lap. I think I got beamed a couple times on that one. And then the Cat 4 guys start coming up. So, interesting thing about this race, usually they do 3 laps. This one they did 3 for Cat 5, and the Cat 4s they went for 4 laps, which was kind of interesting, but it meant that basically on my last lap I had a bunch of Cat 4s coming by. So I just tried to stay out of the way, not mess up anybody's race. Yeah, I think I'll wrap it up there. There's not a whole lot much that happens after this, but it's a fun race. Definitely seemed like one of the more novelty-ish races. But it's fun regardless. It's good to have, you know, work friends out there cheering you on. It's a fun experience. Worth the trip. I'll do it again next year, I assume. That's all for this one. Stay tuned for the Wisconsin Cyclocross Series Championship. That'll be the next video that goes up. Hopefully right after this one, because it's already filmed. I just need to do the voiceover and edit. So stay tuned. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, click the bell, do all that shit. And peace.